Welcome, Thunderbird Nation, to the Thunderbird Coaches Show. I'm Jon Smith. I'll be your host, alongside Coach DeLane Fitzgerald of the football Thunderbirds, and joining us, courtesy of Visit Cedar City Brian Head, Offensive Coordinator Will Brunson. I bid you a warm welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you're on my schedule every week on Tuesday.
Appreciate you inviting us both.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, fall camp is in the books. You guys are now have an opponent to look forward to instead of smashing each other's heads. You guys get to go up to Missoula here on August 29th. That's my birthday. You'd think I'd remember the date. August 29th, up to Missoula, Washington Grizz Stadium to face off the Grizzlies of Montana. Let's talk a little bit about fall camp and wrap that up and move on to the season. You've had a few weeks to observe, kind of coach these young men up. How do you feel your team identity is coming out of camp?
We think we have a team identity, and we've been excited about how we've played on defense through camp thus far. John, we talked last week about some of the upgrades on the defense, and some of those young men continue to push and continue to get better, and we're excited there. Certain positions on offense we're excited about, and we think our tight end position is a strength, and our running back position and our quarterback position. Since we've talked over the last week and a half, there's been some improvements in the wide receiver group, and we're hopeful there that we're going to get some production out of that group. And then there's been some improvements up front on the offensive line, and excited about that. And then, John, we've been steady at specialist position all camp, and that was a worry for us because we were replacing a long snapper and a holder and a punter.
That's right.
And we missed the guys that are gone, but the ones that we brought in and that have stepped up and played have done a nice job thus far in camp.
So you would say steady improvement from last year to now, or last week to now.
Steady
1%
improvement,
better, maybe.
Steady improvement in our entire defense.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think that's funny.
I think it's cool.
If I could get you to subscribe
if you
to
compound
it, you would
1%,
just be better.
If you compound 1% every day, that's a big number. All those investing people out there, that's a big number.
For a football program, you end up thousands and thousands of percent better.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I think our defense has improved at every level. The first level, second level, third level, I think we've gotten better at every level. I think our offense has improved also. We've got a couple of places and positions that still need to improve more this week.
Speaking of different levels, fall camp is the time to set rosters, right? The depth charts. Is your guys' depth chart set? What does it look like?
We have an idea of exactly where we're at depth chart-wise, with the exception of two offensive line spots, and got battles going on at those two spots. Other than that, John, our roster's set and our depth chart's set, and we're excited about where we're at.
That's great. Coach, you brought along a young man to your left. Screen right, I guess. His name is Will Brunson. He is our Visit Cedar City Brian Head Spotlight offensive coordinator. Coach Brunson, welcome to the show. You've already welcomed you, but it's awesome to have you here, man.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Look, offensive coordinator, you're a young guy. How old are you?
Just turned 30.
Dang.
Yep, just turned 30. Big 3-0.
You're going to lose that young tag here pretty soon.
No, yeah.
I'm not too happy.
You just learned it.
You got 1 or 2 minutes of being young left.
Coach, let's get to know you a little better. Where's home?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, not a bad spot to grow up.
Yeah. Now I'm jealous. That's
golf capital of the world,
exactly
John. That's
right.
Up your alley.
That's exactly right. What was your journey, man? Like you're Myrtle Beach Country Club guy, and all of a sudden here you are coaching controlled violence out here on the football field. Give us a little bit of your journey to get to where you are.
You say that, but I didn't pick up a golf club till I was in college. So.
Well, actually, I've played with you, and that checks out.
I guess I blame my parents for not giving me the golf club earlier.
Well,
in life,
they were having you focused on football.
There you go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, born and raised Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. Went to college, University at Albany in New York. Played football there. Played quarterback for 4 years. Then transferred my senior year, redshirt senior year, and played for coach at Frostburg State in Maryland.
Oh, fantastic. So that's where the connection, the Fitzgerald-Brunson era started. You coached him as a football. What was he like as a player?
Very good quarterback, very cerebral. That learned our offense at Frostburg, which wasn't easy to learn, but learned it in one spring and was able to pick up and be our starter after one spring there, and really bridged the gap because we had a hole at the quarterback position the year that Will came in. Bridged the gap. We won 8 games. We won 8 games, finished second in the conference.
Fantastic. Usually we have a student here for the Visit Cedar City Brian Head spotlight, but we figured you were young enough. We have some players that are pretty close to your age anyway.
No doubt.
But this question goes along the student line. How did your education? You went to Albany and finished there at Frostburg, but how did your education prepare you for your current role here at SUU?
Yeah, there's a lot of communication involved with being in this role, and I was a communications major at Albany. And then when I got to Frostburg State and my master's went into sports administration. So I think that, organizing, planning, delegating at the same time, all that stuff all under one big umbrella has helped in this role tremendously.
I'm sure jumping from a position coach to a coordinator spot, you start all of a sudden having those administrative duties, and you have to kind of start giving different tasks to different coaches and exactly what you just talked about. I had a little bug in my ear tell me something that's kind of cool. You've been featured nationally. 24/7 Sports has you the 30 under 30 offensive coordinator for Southern Utah University. That's a great accolade, so we applaud that. That's fantastic. Accolade for Coach for bringing you along and finding you, and then accolade really for the team because you wouldn't be there without success. Success comes through the coaches and the kids, the young men that you do coach. So congratulations on that. On that nod. What is that? I mean, it's got to feel good, man, to get some accolade and to have people watching what you do and validate that for you.
It doesn't mean anything to the win-loss column. It doesn't mean anything to the ball. But being on that list is a huge honor. And, I attested to Coach Fitz and the journey that we've been on. Starting at Frostburg State, when I first started coaching, I was a graduate assistant with the offensive line. And after 7 months of being away during COVID and come back and, hey, you're with the O-line, it took me by surprise.
Yeah.
But, Coach told me, if you're going to call plays for me one day, you got to know what those guys do up front. As a quarterback, you understand scheme, you understand who people are responsible for, but you're talking hand placement, aiming point, balance, footwork, right? All that stuff was a huge development for me and was a perfect segue into coaching tight ends when we got out here. Yeah. Coaching tight ends for the first 2.5 years and then taking over quarterbacks and calling it. It's funny, I'll catch myself an hour during the day of game planning, run game, and hey, I got to get back to the pass game too. But that's where my mind kind of floats to now. But I think Coach did it by design.
Yeah, we have highlighted you're young in the game coming up. But do you feel like that youth can help you communicate with your players?
100%. Yeah, and you joked about it, but some of the older guys too on the rosters and across the country. At one point in time, we might have been teammates. Late in my career,
one. We're going to go against one. We'll talk about him in a second, but we're going to go against one that you could have played with.
No doubt. No, I think relating to those guys is a big deal, and understanding where they're coming from, what they're going through. It wasn't that long ago where I was still playing. So I think fitting and understanding the kids and building that relationship is huge for that.
Yeah. Last question for you, Coach Brunson. What's your favorite part of coaching?
Really two things. I'm fully obsessed with the game of football.
Yeah.
I can talk football for hours, watch tape for hours, and the game of football is by far number one, and a close number two is the kids, the guys, is developing that relationship with them, seeing them get it. The light bulb go off on the field, and then seeing them get it off the field as well, and how they carry themselves and the decisions they make. That's why I do it. 100%.
That's a great answer, man. We appreciate you, Coach, for coming out to Cedar City and being part of the Thunderbird family. And just everybody, thanks for being here and seeing what we got going on. Let's turn our attention now, Coach, to the Montana Grizzlies. Preseason ranked in the top 5 in the nation. Last year,
we had more people watch this show last week than normal weeks. A lot more people.
We did.
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with the opponent that we have this week?
I think Grizz Nation watched a lot of the podcast last week.
A little preview.
They were probably a little bit disappointed. We didn't talk much matchup last week.
We didn't talk much matchup. No. We didn't talk that much smack, which was something that we kind of, hang our hats on a little bit, but we don't want to rile people up too much.
For you guys out there watching, Montana faithful, we appreciate you guys watching last week. We'll give you some tips and tidbits this week. We'll make it worth your 30 minutes this week.
The Grizz come in preseason ranked in the top 5. They finished the season really on a low note. They lost to their rivals, the Montana State Bobcats, in the semifinal game. But they top 1, 2, 3 teams in the nation for a long time. They have a kind of a storied history, a championship legacy. Let's kind of preview the opponent, Washington's, the Montana Grizzly. They play at Washington Grizz Stadium, so that's why I got thrown up a little bit. But, Coach, a quick preview of the Montana Grizzlies. You
said they're ranked in the top 5. Huh? Interesting. And the polls that matter, they're ranked second. On paper, got the second best team in the country. Interesting predicament when, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country both reside in the state of Montana.
Yeah.
I can sit here and make a preseason prediction for you. I'll bet you we don't lose to Montana State this fall. I'll bet you that one doesn't happen. We didn't lose to them last year. Not going to lose to them this year either.
Well, there's an opportunity for us to beat them, though, in the playoffs.
Just know that we will not. Excited, John, about Montana and excited about playing there in the opening game. Spent a lot of time, answering questions around town and from our fans about how you're going to match up with all the talent they have and returning players. And we can talk about them for a minute, and, how you're going to handle the crowd noise and all that. And obviously, I have a response to everything.
Sure.
John, returning on defense, they got Peyton Wing, who I think is one of the most underrated linebackers in our conference. And those two guys at Cal Poly get a lot of credit for the way they play linebacker, and Peyton's as good or better than either one of them. And then you got Solomon, who's in his extended years of eligibility at Montana. History lesson for everybody out there, guys. Solo's father played at SUU, so Solo's father played here 25 and 26 years ago.
He's got a good lineage.
Yeah. Our defensive line coach, Coach Ryan Hunt, actually babysitted Solo when he was a baby while his parents were going to school here. Turnbull and Rosanna were both here in the early 2000s, and Turnbull played football here. You flip over on offense, John, and Ayat's as good a quarterback. He's top 5 quarterbacks in the country. And then preseason, everybody has Gilman, their tailback, as the best tailback in the country. He looks the part, and you sit and watch film. He's a really good football player. They return Brooks Davis at the wide receiver position, and he's their leading returning wide receiver and a good player. Somebody we've got to match up with and not let get the best of us. On defense, their DBs, you got the Cades, both Cades, and you got Cade Boyd and then Cade Cutler are their returning DBs with the most playing time and good football players. And then on the offensive line, Lucas Freitas returns for them and got some playing time last year and is a good football player. John, those are their top returning players. A lot of turnover. A lot of turnover at Montana. That they've turned over some offensive and defensive linemen this offseason. But with the amount of scholarship money and NIL money that Montana has, they're not rebuilding. They're reloading. They're going to be really big and really talented up front on Saturday night. We know that's coming. But then they've had almost a wholesale turnover with the coaching staff also.
That's what I was going to ask you about the new head coach there.
Yeah, their head coach left for the coordinator's position at Illinois, and he took most of the defensive staff with him to Illinois.
Didn't he retire?
For about a month.
Was it a month or was it 10 days?
For about a month. They said, hey, people in this town think he retired when SUU put it on UNLV a decade ago.
Yeah, so we did,
they think that was the end of it. But he came back after UNLV and took the Montana job and was really successful.
Yeah.
The winningest coach.
He's a good coach.
Winningest coach in Big Sky history.
Coach. Yeah.
At
Great
Illinois
coach.
now. So most all of the defensive staff are new coaches, and then new wide receivers coach, because the wide receivers coach is now the head coach. So there's some new coaches on offense too. Coach Meyer, I think I'm saying it right, Brent Meyer, Weber State's offensive line coach for the last decade, is their offensive line coach now. So we have some familiarity. And of course, Coach Hunt being the D-line coach here for the last 20 years, he has some familiarity with what they're going to do up front and how they're coached and going to handle themselves. But Brent's a good football coach too. But a lot of turnover. Montana's had a lot of turnover, but what hadn't turned over is their talent level of their players, and that they're going to be coached really, really well. So,
what was it that you said? They reloaded, not.
Yeah,
it was a good quote, and I'm a little off today. If you haven't noticed,
when you're running, you're a little off every day.
Well, today especially.
Yeah, a little off.
Today especially.
There is a chance they dropped you at the hospital. Good chance. Good chance. Might want to see if we can get some camera footage of that. maybe get a lawsuit or two going on.
You are messed up, man.
But they good players, good players, good coaches. We're excited.
Yeah, Coach, it's now time for a new segment to the show. It's time for the Stephen Wade Toyota Keys to the Game. We talked briefly about the Grizz, kind of what we're getting into, the return players, et cetera, et cetera. What are the keys to going up to Missoula and coming home with a win?
Yeah, well, we've got to win the turnover battle, and you got to win that every single week to have an opportunity to be in the football game. I think the winner of this game is going to be who plays best up front. O-line, D-line play, controlling the line of scrimmage will be a big key to the game. John, we've got to finish drives. We've got to finish drives on defense, get off the field on third down on defense, and then we've got to finish drives on offense. And then if you want the biggest key to us being successful on Saturday night, we've got to score one more point than they do.
Mathematically, that is correct.
Score more.
Yeah, score more. Coach Brunson, you're the offensive coordinator. You're preparing your guys to go up against this vaunted defense. What are some of the keys that you see specifically offensively that we need to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, 3 absolutes. We talk about it, in the beginning since January through spring ball, all summer long, fall camp, and even now it stays to a T. The 3 absolutes on offense is, no turnovers, no pre-snap penalties, and go forward. There's 3 things. There's absolutes. If we can stick to that and execute that, we got a shot.
Don't turn all over the ball. Don't penalize yourself. Beat yourself.
Can't go
and
backwards.
Then just got to go forward.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Great keys, gentlemen. That's our Stephen Wade Toyota keys to the game. Appreciate Stephen Wade and their patronage of the Thunderbird Coaches Show. We have another segment. We're going to go back to back here. It just feels right. We talked about, before we get into this, actually, you and I were talking about the atmosphere, right? You've heard about it probably for the last 5 years, right, that you've been here. Washington Grizz Stadium, you can't wait to go up there. Oh, it's different. What, Coach, as far as keys to the game, is the atmosphere a key? Is the guys being on the field and having that noise that maybe they're not used to week in, week out? Is that something that you guys prepare for?
You're 100% right on that. We've been hearing about it since we got here. Our staff, Will and I, have been here 4.5 years, and you hear about it. And we used to be able to brush it off.
Yeah.
We used to be able to brush it off and say, well, if we get them in a playoff game up there, we'll see.
Right.
Because we were in a different conference, and now we're in the same conference. John, when we originally announced we were going back in the Big Sky, we were told we were going to open at Portland State. Which gets everybody excited. Hey, let's play 27 miles from campus, outside of the city, and all that.
I don't mean to laugh at Portland State. I don't mean to.
Portland State's got a brand new football coach who knows exactly what he's doing,
and they're a proud program.
They'll get it rolling. Mm-hmm. But you were here in Portland State and Portland State, and let's be honest, it's hard to get up for now. And we're going to play at the soccer field 30 minutes from campus. And then about a month, 2 months later, we hear that they're going to send you to Montana. You're going to open at Montana, and that's your welcome back present. And I went, well, that's a present.
That's a welcome back present, isn't it?
That's a present. It
Throw
makes,
you right in the deep end.
It makes a statement. If we're going to go up there and play in a loud ruckus environment, you want to go do it week 1. Mm-hmm. Their fans are going to be lathered up and going to have a great time. But, John, we've opened at Arizona State in front of 55,000 people. Yeah. We've opened
University
at Utah twice.
BYU week 2.
We're used. Yeah, we went Arizona State, BYU back to back. We're used to loud environments without a track around the field and the fans right on you. I've been told, hey, the mom and grandma jokes are back out this Saturday night. So looking forward to that. I want to quit rambling and sum this up. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of preseason practice. Let's get it on. I feel a little bit like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. I hope that it's as blue as it's been in my dreams.
Well, they will definitely welcome you with open arms up there in Missoula, Coach. I have been there a few times, both for some wins and some losses, and it's a great place to play football, and it's a great place to win football games.
I hear that the crowd's amazing, and we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. That is a great segue into
You asked, do we prepare? Yeah, we play crowd noise.
Okay.
We play crowd noise in practice all the time, so our offense is used to executing.
Great. That leads us to our next segment. This is the Pizza Hut slice of history. So we're going to talk a little bit about our history with the I keep saying Washington Grizz. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's the Montana Grizz. I'm off today. We might have to do some edit in the post edit here, but my apologies, Thunderbird Nation. Not my finest day. But if you'll join with me, Thunderbird Nation, as we take a trip back through history, the Thunderbird record books, and revisit some great moments in T-Bird history. This week, we open at Montana on the road. It's an exciting way to open the season. We talked about that a little bit. But let's journey back, 1998. The T-Birds traveled up to Missoula as massive underdogs. And what transpired on the field that day can give us motivation for this weekend. SUU came out firing, took a 14-7 lead. In the first quarter, the Grizz punched back in the second quarter and take a 21-17 lead into half. Now, I'm not sure what the coach told the young men in the locker room, but they came out inspired, and they laid 28 points on them in the second half and held the Grizz to just 14 in the second half. And when the dust settled, the T-Birds had pulled off a massive road upset, maybe one of the biggest road upsets in program history. It was a 45-35 victory at Washington Grizz Stadium there. I said it, and it actually was in context. Appreciate that. Way to go, John. And look, it was a massive turning point in the Division I FCS history of our program. So there's a few other little things. I mean, back in 2012, I believe it was, I was there to watch Brad Sorensen carve up the Montana Grizzlies that day. He played like the NFL player that he was. Phenomenal job, and also the young men that were on that team just absolutely put it all on the line. A really close loss just recently. I think it was 2017. I can't remember the score, but there was a field goal that we had blocked in the last moments of that game. But again, I mean, I think we had won 2 games that year. We seem to go up there and give them our best, regardless of whether we're underdogs or whether we're the favorites. We always play Montana really tough. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Pizza Hut slice of history. Hopefully, we can build on past historic success and come out with a win on Saturday. Coach, closing thoughts. We hear about it all the time. How great Montana State, how great Montana, and they are, and especially with recency bias. They might say David and Goliath. It's definitely an underdog story, but look, any given Saturday, on any given field, and any given team throughout the country, there's always a chance. And the reality is we have a great football team. We have a history of being Dragon Slayers. The UTEP game, we've got FBS wins. We've got big-time upsets. If I'm Montana, I don't want to open against the Thunderbirds. We got nothing to lose, and we're just going to let it rip. What are some final thoughts about the game coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, John, we haven't played in, what is it, 9.5 months now. We haven't played a game. We had 15 spring ball practices where we beat on each other. We're on number 19 of preseason camp, so we're now at 35 straight practices. Our players and coaches would like to see somebody in a different color jersey.
Even if it is maroon.
Would like to see an unfamiliar face.
Red and brown
my
together.
My rivals growing up wore maroon also. But Montana, and you talked about Montana State, the funding's a little different at those two universities for athletics than it is for us. And that makes us the underdog. Somebody grabbed me in town yesterday and just wanted to tell me what massive underdogs we were this week.
Remind you over and over and over.
They wanted to know if I knew. If I knew that we were massive underdogs. And I was like, no, sir, I don't. And I was like, but with all due respect, I really don't care either. We're going to put 11 guys on. Hey, hopefully we're going to put 11 guys on the field for each play on Saturday night. Hopefully they put 11 guys. They can put 10 if they want to, but hopefully they put 11 guys on the field for each play also. And we're going to go mano-a-mano for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Put our best foot forward and let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah. And you'll see where preparation and the grit and the sweat that happens in the offseason is going to come to fruition here this weekend. Coach Brunson, any final thoughts?
Ready to go. Like Coach said, we've been beating up on each other for a long time, and we've been game planning these guys since the summer, and it's time to call it.
Thunderbird Nation is going to be an exciting opening weekend up at Washington Grizz Stadium, Missoula, Montana for the Grizz. The T-Birds are ready. We're excited, and let's get it on.
So,
for Coach Will Brunson, Coach DeLane Fitzgerald, I'm Jon Smith signing off. Go Thunderbirds.
Go Thunderbirds.